Hi, I'm Doug.
And I'm Cathy.
And this is Maggie Mae. Join us as we follow the moon. We are standing here today in front of Bridal Veil Falls, just outside of Provo, Utah. And we want to show you some of the amazing things that you'll find when you visit Provo.
Come along.
And Bridal Veil Falls is where we're going to start today. And this is actually right along the road. We're at a viewing area right off the highway. And you can see, you can drive on down into the base, but the view from here was so great.
It was quite spectacular, and you can climb up in there. There were people climbing up to the top and getting pictures of themselves up there, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. It's one of the longest waterfalls I think we've seen so far.
And that's quite a steep hike.
It is. Now, just back towards Provo from there is Canyon Glen Park. And this is a great little park. You've got a beautiful view of the mountain. Just around that curve is where the falls actually is.
And this is water from the falls.
That's right.
This is a good sized little park, and it was very active.
Lots of things to do there. It also didn't hurt that it was Labor Day weekend that we were in town. So everything was pretty active in Provo.
That's right.
There's great little trails, which Maggie enjoyed. This is a very dog-friendly park. Great green space, and a lot of people out there with their dogs. A lot of people out there playing volleyball at the time too. Now we're going to go into the downtown area. This is Hines Mansion, and Russell Spencer Hines, his wife Kitty, built this in 1895. And this was kind of after Provo had went through a boom period and then a bust, and this was kind of back on their rebound. The same fellow that designed this designed Utah State Capitol building, and today it's a bed and breakfast. Also downtown is the Provo City Center Temple. This is for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which is huge here in the Provo, Salt Lake City area. And the grounds, the gardens, the fountain, everything there was just beautiful. And this is the city of Provo that surrounds that. Now, to get a little bit better look at the city of Provo, we're going up to the Kyhv Peak Lookout Point. And this is about a 4-mile drive that twists and turns around the mountains and brings you up to this great lookout. And you see the city of Provo, and beyond that you'll see the Utah Lake, which is a massive lake here. It covers the entire west side of Provo. There you can see the airport in town, which was very near where we were staying. And you can also not only see the Provo side, but out in the distance across the lake, you can see more town on the other side of it. And even looking the opposite direction from the lookout, you still got beautiful mountain views.
That's quite the view.
It sure is.
There was a lot of smoke from Idaho.
Yeah, the fires up there. Now we're going to go down to Pioneer Park downtown to the Provo Farmers Market. This is a big city block size green space. They've got splash pads, they've got all sorts of things in this park. But on Saturdays from 9 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon, this becomes a major farmer's market. A lot of craft type things also. A lot of jewelry and that sort of thing. But this is really a social event for the town. See so many people out there and meeting up with other people
And musicians.
yes, musicians all around. And this is laid out kind of an X pattern across the park, but it leaves all these nice big green spaces where you see people just sitting back and enjoying the day. Now, you've heard the term a day late and a dollar short. Well, this was a day late. The Provo Pioneer Village is open from Memorial Day to Labor Day. We didn't get up here until the Tuesday after Labor Day. But there was a real nice gentleman that was there who allowed me to come in on the grounds and get some pictures. The buildings weren't unlocked, but these are all historic buildings from around Provo that have been moved in here. The first one moved in 1931. This gives you a map of everything that's there. There's a schoolhouse, there's the original fire bell for the town. And that building right there was made out of sun-dried adobe block, and that was the first one moved here onto the property. There's also the wagons that were used bringing the Mormons across country to settle the area. It really is a neat representative of everything going on in Provo's history. Now, the Mt Nebo Loop, this is actually in Payson, which is about a 20-30 minute drive south of Provo. But this is a must-do as far as we're concerned when you go to Provo. And this is, I believe it's a 34-mile loop. And it's 2-lane road. There's free range on part of it there, so you have to watch for the cows. And the reason we came here was for the Grotto Falls trailhead. And you can see a lot of other people came here for that reason too. This is a very busy trail. It's about a half a mile long. You do have to ford the creek a couple of times. There's one log that has been hewn to where the top was flat as a bridge.
Like a balance beam.
Yeah. So you wear good shoes for getting in the water. That's all I'm going to say.
That's right.
This is also pet friendly. There's dogs galore out here. There's
There
that
it is.
bridge.
It was actually easier to go through it, but I'm sure there are times when the water is raging through from what other people were saying.
Yeah. And you get back to the end of the trail and you're in the grotto. The water is cold.
It is. But it didn't stop Maggie.
No, it didn't. She loved getting in the water.
Look at that tail.
Oh, yeah. She's happy. And it is cool back there. The water's cool, obviously. But it is just so relaxing. And everybody's back there to get their picture taken around it.
And the locals told us that when, after a rain, that is a lot more water coming over there.
After she'd been walking, she kind of relaxed herself on one of those big rocks.
You couldn't get her to lift her head. She
Nope.
was just so cash. It was beautiful.
But that hike back to Grotto Falls and being back at the falls was worth the whole drive.
It sure was.
And then there was more. There was more along here that we didn't even realize. The views are magnificent. You can tell that there has been a wildfire in the area at some point because there are a lot of black charred trees in and amongst. But it I can imagine how beautiful it was before the fire, but even now, it didn't detract
Yeah, it
from
was
it.
really beautiful.
Now, this is called the Nebo Loop because this goes to the Mt Nebo overlook, and there is Mt Nebo. Mt Nebo stands almost 12,000 feet tall. And we did have a beautiful day for it. We did have some smoke, but
Yeah.
it was a beautiful, beautiful sky, beautiful day. So from there, we're going to continue around the loop, and we come across one more area that we honestly didn't even know about when we started, and that's Devil's Kitchen. This is billed as a mini Bryce Canyon, and in and amongst all of these mountains and these white rocks, you come across this very short paved path, and it brings you back to all these red rocks. And the rocks are what they call a conglomerate, meaning they were bits and pieces that were washed over time, and you can see the odd looking rocks in the middle of those formations. It's really, really spectacular. And there's little clumps of these in the areas around there, but this is far and away the biggest. It seems like we always have visitors
Yes.
as we're walking around, and Cathy caught this guy, little chipmunk, up in a tree.
He's just nibbling away.
Yep. Didn't really realize he was at such a famous address.
Well, it's a kitchen.
There you go. But yeah, that's a very short, easy, paved trail. That's definitely one that you won't want to miss. And as we were coming back the trail, I said, it looks like there's snow over there. Sure enough, it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
There's still a little bit of snow on the mountains at Labor Day. So from there, it kind of starts going downhill, and it does eventually connect over to Interstate 15 to come back up here to Provo, where we were staying. But you'll see some of the rock formations are white, and some of them are the real dark, almost like the basalt that we were seeing earlier in our journey. But a great time in Provo.
It was.
Well, Cathy, we've kind of done a little bit of everything in Provo, from the mountains to the red rocks that we're at now, to the waterfalls, to the bustling town itself. And what have you thought about your time in Provo, Utah?
It surprised me. It really did. I like it. It did surprise me.
It has me too. The diverse nature, and it's been a very welcoming city.
Absolutely.
With that, if you've enjoyed the video today, leave us a thumbs up. We appreciate it. And if you haven't already subscribed, watch for the button up here in this top corner at the end of the video. If you'll tap that button, you can ring the notification bell. You'll know when all of our videos come out.
And thank you for following us as we follow the moon.